Coach Curtis is a certified life and health coach. Coach Curtis's passion is to help everyone reach their highest potential. If you're stuck in a rut in your career, relationship, or personal growth, Coach Curtis will challenge you to play big through transformational habit change coaching. Coach Curtis will help you clarify your goals, identify your obstacles, and design strategies to overcome them. So get ready, get pumped up, and let's play big.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I am Coach Curtis. I'm the Play Big Coach. It's good to see everybody this afternoon or this evening. It's already dark outside. It's freezing outside here in Florida. I don't play with cold weather. I don't enjoy this. I know, I always talk about how we should overcome everything. I'm not overcoming this cold weather. I'm sorry. I'm just going to wallow in that a little bit. So, welcome. We are excited to have everybody back with us. Y'all see, I'm lit up. It's getting to be the holidays. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I am excited. And I'm excited mostly because our last broadcast, Coach Beth Ann was off the charts. We boosted a little bit on Facebook. We got over 3,000 views for our second broadcast. That's huge in this world, especially for a guy like me. And we had almost 1,000 people who watched it from the beginning to the end. Again, that's really huge. Those kind of numbers are amazing. I'm super excited that people are liking what we're talking about. I'm super excited that people are excited about what I'm excited about. And if you think I use the word excited too much, then you don't know what playing big is all about, because I am excited. I'm excited about the holidays. I'm excited about family time. I'm excited about being able to do all these great things. I ain't worried about no corona. I ain't worried about no end of the world scenarios. I ain't worried about all that mess. I ain't saying it ain't real. I ain't saying there ain't something to it. What I'm saying is I'm not holding that in my heart. What I'm holding in my heart is positive joy, love, happiness, all that good stuff. Okay? So I just wanted to give a shout out to Coach Beth Ann and thank her for being with us on our last broadcast, boosting those ratings through the roof. I really, really appreciate it. And I wanted to talk just a few minutes. We have an amazing guest tonight, Coach Teresa, and she is going to be phenomenal, and we're going to get to her in a little bit. We got a little guest surprise coming up for you in about 5 or 10 minutes, but before we get there, just wanted to maybe drop back and punt a little bit about what is the Play Big Coach? Why am I here? What am I talking about? There's probably, I don't know, thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands of podcasts out there. And why does a 58-year-old white guy from Jacksonville, Florida think he's going to be listened to or heard, or that anybody's going to be a part of it? Only because I feel like I have a message. I have a message of hope. I have a message of being positive. I have a message of being happy. I have a message of playing big for people who want to have something more in their life than what they got right now. And you know what? It's not just for people that are way down here trying to get something big. It's for people that are here but want to be up here, right? It's for all of us, because I live a great life. I have a beautiful wife, an amazing family, I have a great career. I got a few side hustles. I'm always on the hustle, but I'm always striving every day to do more, to play bigger, to get faster, to go harder. And it's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about fortune. It's because there's people out there that need to hear this message. There's people out there that need to hear the message that somebody loves them, somebody cares about them, and that their life can be better than what it is today. And that's the part that turns me on. That's the part that gets me up every morning. That's the part that gets me excited. And you guys will hear me say this a lot. Why in the world would you hire a coach? Because a lot of you know what to do. A lot of you know you want to do it, but you don't have a clue how, right? The difference between knowing and doing can be a million miles when you don't know how to get started. That's what us coaches are for. We get you lit up. Okay, I don't know which way the camera's going. Anyway, you get lit up. You know what I'm saying? We get you lit up so that you can be excited and so that you can take that first step to a new life, whether it's a healthier life, whether it's a better relationship, whether it's a better relationship with a spouse, kids, parents, whether it's a better job, whether it's losing weight, whether it's gaining weight. Y'all don't know. For years, I was so skinny, I had to run around in the rain to get wet. I would have loved to gain weight. And there's people out there like that today. We're just so not happy with, if we're skinny, we want to be big. If we're big, we want to be skinny. We need to get rid of all that, and we need to be happy, right? We need to be happy. We need to be joyous. We need to be excited. And coaches can show us how to get there. We can show you how to sleep better at night. We can show you how to eat better during the day. Not for weight, not for any of those things, but to calm that stress in your life. Calm you down and get you to a place where you can see where you're at and start moving forward, start moving up, start getting better, start getting happier. And excuse me, back to the part about being a health coach. I got to do this again. Hold on. Back to the part about being a health coach and being a life coach and why it's important to me. It's just important because I want to help people. And so I thought I want to do this podcast. And for the last 8 months, I don't know, maybe even a year, I've been wanting to do a podcast. And so I was working with some other ladies, some amazing coaches. Some of them were from upstate New York. One of them is from Canada. And they are terrific. And we were trying to put together a podcast. We even recorded some episodes, and we were trying to get some things together. But literally, I did not know how to do that next step, right? I didn't know what to do next. So if you're one of the coaches out there that are listening to us, and you're thinking, man, I'd love to have a podcast like you, Coach, and I'd love to be able to get that next step and get out there and start helping people, I got just the folks that can help you. Toya, the young lady who is my producer, and I love saying I have a producer. I'm like, hey, don't worry, my producer will call you. It's all good. Anyway, so I have a producer, and her name is Toya, and she has a business partner, and the name of their company is Go Black Inc. And Go Black Inc. tries to put you in the black. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put you where you're making money, trying to put you where you're positive, trying to put you where you're doing something in this world. And I was a guest on a different podcast, Dialogue with Dozer, and it was amazing. Had a great time. And, before I get there, they say, meet with the producer. She's going to hook you up, tell you what to do. She's going to bring you on. I'm waiting in this green room. And it was all so professional. And so afterwards, I asked her, I said, can you help me do this? Because this is what I'm wanting to do. This is what I feel like my next step is. And we got into a business arrangement because this is what she does. And I want to bring her up for just a few minutes. This is Toya. And just have her talk about a few minutes what Go Black is all about and how she can help you to get out there. There she is.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay, Coach?
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity. This is awesome. I like to be in the background, but you asked me to come on. And like you said, if this is something I can do to help somebody else, then I should be here. So you talk about those professional stuff, but this is just fun, just flat out fun. I enjoy coming on here and helping good people that are doing good things for other folks. Coaching, like so many of us don't understand and know that we need mentorship, we need coaching, we need therapy.
Absolutely.
And it is amazing that I get to play a part in helping folks like Coach Curtis, get their word out to the world. So very simply, this is a platform that we like to use. This is StreamYard, and we can help you, get your show up. You can do it every week if you want to, every day if you want to, monthly, whatever you like. The link down there, goblackinc.com/call, and let's talk about it. Let's see what you need and what we can do to help to get what God has put in you and get that out to the masses. Coach said, what was that? Thousands of people viewed your last podcast? That's amazing.
It was over 3,000 people, and almost 1,000 watched it from beginning to end, and that's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, and for me, it's because I think it looks professional, and I love that you guys create, and when I tell you guys, these guys do it all, I mean, they do it all. She does all my promos for me. She makes all the graphics, her and her team. They do all this, and they put it on for me. Basically, all I do is show up and look pretty, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, and I do it well, I hope. Anyway, but this is what I do. I get to just show up. This is one thing I don't have to worry about, right? Because I know behind the scenes, it's all being taken care of. So all I have to do is show up. I'm prepared to either, do my speech or interview my guests and get some more love out into the world, to get some other things out into the world. And all those background things, which are super important, guys, are all taken care of. And, it doesn't have to be for a coach. You could be a myriad of different things. I mean, talk a little bit about Dialogue with Dozer, because he's not really a coach. He's a pastor. What kind of show does he have?
So Dialogue with Dozy focus more on sharing information that's more like political, current events, and I enjoy working with them as well. So, like Coach said, we can help you with whatever type of show that it is that you want to provide. Me personally, I like to work with people who are kind, who have a mission, who wanted to do good things in the world. So if you're good, I'm good. That equals good
Absolutely.
to me. So thank you, Coach.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on, and I hope this helps you guys out. I hope it helps you a lot because I want you guys to grow and thrive in your business like I want to grow and thrive in mine. I've always been a believer that Ray Kroc, the guy who founded McDonald's, said a long time ago that none of us are as good as all of us, right? None of us are as good as all of us. We can do amazing things together, and you guys are helping me be amazing, and I appreciate you every single day. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And hi, Joan.
Joan says these two make a great team. Now, Joan said because now I get to leave her alone and I'm not bugging her all the time about helping me with my podcast. So she is loving this life. Let me tell you so much. And I do. I really appreciate that. I appreciate being a guest on some of these other podcasts. I just appreciate the level of professionalism that we get to have and the things that we get to do. We got a great year coming up. I mean, this year isn't over yet. We've already had a great coach on with Coach Beth Ann. We have Coach Teresa tonight, and she's going to be amazing. You guys are going to be blown away. This is so awesome. I'm not going to give away, but there might be a gong involved. I'm just saying. Anyway, so next week our next broadcast, which is 2 weeks from now, we're going to change gears just a little bit. I've got a great guest coming up. His name is Brian. And Brian and Cheryl, they have a tax company, and they help people with their taxes. They can file your taxes, do all these great things. It's Brian and Cheryl Collins. My producer's going to yell at me because I did not give her a link to blow them up and show it to you. So I'm going to talk about that later, I'm sure. But Brian and Cheryl Collins, and I think it's B&C Taxes, I believe. He also has an incredible app he's just come out with that is basically geared to truck drivers and how it helps truck drivers be more profitable. This guy's the real deal. He's got some great things going on. So we're going to talk a lot of other things other than just life coaching, but this for right now is where we're at. And next January, you guys are not going to want to miss this. I've got Coach Nikki coming up. Coach Nikki is phenomenal. She is, I won't give away any of her secrets, but she's one of the sweetest people, one of the sweetest humans you'll ever meet in your life. She's got a great thing going on. And the second guest that's going to be with us is Chef. Oh, see, I go back to my old stuff. Is Coach Nikki, and I believe it's called the Woo Crew or the Woo Tribe, and it's a group of ladies who just do some phenomenal things, not only in the coaching world, but in the world of just all around you. If you're one who's into things like your chakras and to your inner being and your spirituality, you guys are not going to want to miss January. January is going to be lit up. And I had to take that hat off because it's wool and it was like 800 degrees on my bald head. So I had to get rid of that hat. But anyway, you guys are going to love what's coming up next with Brian and Cheryl. You're going to love what's coming up in January with Coach Nikki and the Woo Crew. And February, what y'all think we're going to be talking about in February? What is February famous for? Other than my beautiful wife's birthday where she's going to make me jump out of an airplane. Other than that, what is February famous for? Love. I'm trying to hook a special guest. Y'all might know him. He's a friend of mine. He and I think a lot alike about as far as how we believe we treat our queen in our home. And I'm hoping him and his queen are going to be a guest on the show in February. I apologize. Thank you. And we're going to be talking about life and love, how we met, how we got to where we're going to be, and how we keep our spouses happy. When just the, checkbook. But we're going to talk about how we keep them happy and what a real true relationship looks like. Because it ain't 50-50, it's 100-100. And we got a lot of exciting things coming up that we're going to talk about March and on. I mean, I've got big plans for all this next year coming up, just the people I want you to meet. And a lot of people say, well, Coach, you're a coach, but you're bringing on all these other coaches. Is that going to take your business away? Or what's that going to do to you? You know what? There is millions of people out there, and most of them need a coach. And everybody's not going to like my style. Everybody doesn't need to play big. Other people need other things. Am I right? So we're going to be looking at all different kind of coaches who can help all different kinds of people, because I want to bring as much hope to you, as much help to you, as much love to you as I can, whether it's from me or whether it's from one of these other amazing coaches that I'm going to introduce you to. Because, guys, I know some people that are just going to blow your socks off. You are going to be amazed when you meet these folks. And one of the comments that just came up was about we also get to meet my newest grandbaby in February as well. February is going to be a month of love because my new grand is coming. My granddaughter, her name is Brinley. I got to see her today on one of those 4D things. And I know we're all supposed to be all mushy and all that, but that child looked like an alien. I ain't gonna lie. That 4D picture, she had that squishy face. It was no. I'll be happy when she comes for real and she looks like a cute little bundle of joy with a hat and everything. Because that baby on that screen today, that was some frightening stuff. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't about that. So anyway, we're gonna get ready to bring up Coach Teresa right now. Coach Teresa is she's amazing. She's going to blow you guys away. If Toya can get her ready to come on, she sent me these notes. I don't know if you can see them or not. This is how small they are, and I can't even read them. So, Teresa, you're there.
Hey, I am here.
This is Coach Teresa Lyles. She's with Natural Results. And from what I understand, you've got 26 years in the natural health and healing and wellness business. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it all started with experience and just growing up. I'm going to take these off because of the glare. Sure. I've always had a connection with nature, and I grew up in a family that had a connection with nature. And I guess in 96, I believe, I had a car wreck. I was T-boned on the driver's side, and they told me I would not have full function of my left arm and gave me prescriptions and said, happy life. And I said, y'all have no idea who you're talking to. So from that point on, I started with intense chiropractic, massage, and acupuncture. And 6 months later, I had full function of my arm. And I thought, this is exactly what I want to do with the rest of my life. It's amazing how we can have a traumatizing experience that turns into life work. And that's what this has done for me, was life work. And that's what my work is. It's just, it is. It's life work, and it's an evolution.
That's amazing. And that's what so many people don't understand is sometimes out of our darkest hour, out of our darkest day comes our most amazing light, right? When we were at HCI back in April 2019, and Eric Neuner got up and he said, what's the one thing that you're thankful for that you never thought you'd be thankful for in your whole life? And I said my first marriage, because it was terrible. It was a horrible experience. It was 7 years of hell. But it was also 7 years of teaching me what I never wanted to have in my life, right? What I never wanted to go through again, what I wanted in a relationship, and what I would have in a relationship. So it made me the husband and the man I am today. It made me the relationship coach I am today, because I've seen so many things that I can tell people, this is where you don't want to go. This is where you don't want to be. And just like you going through that dark spot, when you have a crash like that, that's a horrific experience. For you to come through it on the other side and your first thought being, y'all don't know who you're messing with, that's amazing. I think that's beautiful.
Thank you. Absolutely. And I agree with that. I mean, people that we have, challenges with, I call them our teachers.
Absolutely.
Because they are our teachers. They help us see the shadows within ourselves.
Right. You wrote something on your questionnaire about something that happened to you, I think, when you were 9 years old.
9 years old. That's when I knew there was something much greater than us. I knew there was a higher energy, a higher spirit, God, a great spirit, a Holy Spirit, a great God that leads us and guides us. And, when I was younger, we weren't allowed to watch scary movies. So being the rebel that I am, I got up in the middle of the night and watched a scary movie by myself. well, from that point on, I was terrified of the dark and was afraid of what was under my bed. And when I was 9 years old, I loved to read Psalms before I went to bed. And it was in Psalms. I can't remember the exact address, but it said, "Do not fear, for I am your light." And something about that just gave me such peace. And from that moment on, I wasn't afraid. And I knew that was my personal experience with God, with higher power. And I don't care what anyone would try to tell me. That was my experience, and no one can take it away. And that's why I know it's real. And nature, everything that has been created naturally is here for our own good. And so that was my experience at 9.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's amazing because, again, some people think that you have to be in a certain place in life, or you have to be a certain age, or you have to be of a certain stature, or you have to be of a certain economic, social class. But, when you're ready for that, whatever that epiphany might be, or whatever that thing is that's going to happen to you, it's in your time frame. It's in the universe's time frame. Whether you believe it's God, whether you believe it's just a spiritual being, no matter what you believe, there's a time frame for those things. And when that's your time frame, that's when it's going to happen. And I find that amazing. I don't care that you were 9 years old or if you were 90 years old, as long as you know that that's what happened in your spirit and your soul and your heart, I'm down. I totally believe it 100%. So how has that brought you through to where you're at and into your coaching journey?
Well, that helped me not be fearful. And I've always been pretty daring, if you will. And I've always, what I call, beaten my own drum. I've referred to myself as a salmon. I swim upstream. If everyone else is going this way, I'm going to go this way. And so it encouraged me to be a free thinker. It encouraged me to think for myself. It encouraged me to have my own path and my own journey and not get caught up in idealism or this is the way things should be, because I go with my gut.
Right.
And
right.
Our gut is referred to as our second brain. And so that's exactly what I refer to is my gut and my heart. And then my head is last.
Awesome. And I'll be honest, I think our second brain is a whole lot better than our first brain most of the time, because it will warn us. It'll warn us so many more times. One of the things that I love on the questionnaire, we send everybody out a little questionnaire before they come on the show. And one of the things that I ask is, how do you help make the world a better place? And I loved your answer. You said, I live in gratitude. That is so freaking huge. That is so freaking huge. I never used to do that, right? I always used to live in the next, right? What was next? If I had a good car, I wanted a better car. If I had a good job, I wanted a better job. If I had this, I wanted that. But it wasn't until I married my wife, and she, I tell her all the time, and she doesn't feel this way a lot, but she rescued me when I didn't even know I needed to be rescued. So when I tell her all the time, I said, you got me to just settle down and look at things and enjoy where I was at. I was always looking for what was next. And to live in gratitude is so freaking huge. So tell me a little bit about that and how it works with you.
Well, that once again is from experience. I was the same. I mean, we grow up in a society where it's always better, even as a child, oh, why you made a B+, why didn't you make an A? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And so that was kind of, we're trained to do that. We're programmed to not be present and not be thankful for what we have. And so it took me a lot of personal hardships to get to where I am and to live in gratitude. And experience is the best way I can tell you that I got here. Right. And I'm thankful to be alive at this time in life. I'm thankful to be doing what we're doing right now. We all have a purpose. And I think if we don't do self development and self exploring, we're never going to find that purpose. And so I'm thankful that, even with a lot of the trouble I had growing up, I was a wild child. I'm thankful for those experiences.
Sure.
I'm thankful for every experience I've had because it's made me the person I am today.
Absolutely. We were talking, I was talking to my, some folks the other night, Brian and Cheryl, actually, who are going to be on the show in a couple of weeks. We were talking about perspective of things and gratitude. And it made me think of what you were just talking about, and I was listening to Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey was talking about how that growing up, he had one of those aluminum Christmas trees, right? The aluminum Christmas trees that had a color wheel that shone onto the Christmas tree, so it had color, right? But he said, well, we were poor because we had this tree. Everybody else had real trees, or they had the fake tree with all the ornaments, and we had this aluminum tree. Now, me growing up, I had the aluminum tree, and we had the color wheel. I thought we were rich because we had a metal tree. None of my cousins had that. None of my friends had that. So my perspective was, man, look what my mom and dad have got for us. We are so rich. We got this metal tree, and I thought it was so cool. And then to hear somebody else say that in their life, they thought that meant they were poor. And so to me, everything is about perspective, and it's about not necessarily where you are, but where you think you are. And, somebody who's living in their car might be down and out, but there's somebody who doesn't have a car to live in, right? There's somebody who's living in a tent, but then there's somebody who doesn't even have a tent to live in. Maybe they're living on the street, and then those are huge, big things, perspectives, but it's all in, you think right now because, I only live in a 3-bedroom apartment. I ain't done nothing. I ain't got it made. When there's people who would love to have your lifestyle. So living that life that you have in gratitude and just being happy for it, no matter what it is, that is so huge and so phenomenal. And I really loved it when I read your answer and said about living in gratitude. That was awesome.
To me, that's the key to life. It's also, and like I said, I love the Psalms. I love the ancient text is what I call it. I love all ancient text. Okay. And in the ancient text of the Bible, I forget exactly where it is, but it says, how can you be trusted with much if you can't be trusted with little?
Right.
And so that has always been in my mind. And whenever, our world today is money driven.
Sure.
And money really is just an illusion. It's a currency of illusion. And when we get down to it, true wealth is health, it's gratitude, and it's love and community is really what it is.
That's exactly right. Now, did you go to HCI? I wasn't sure.
I did.
Are you an HCI? You're an HCI graduate. Okay. I thought so. And, to me, that was the most amazing thing to me when I joined, because I thought I was going to school, right? I thought I was going to go take this course, do my whatever, 1 year, get my certificate, and be happy. What I didn't realize was that I was joining a community, right? That I was joining so many like-minded people, so many heart warriors. And there were so many things that I didn't even know about this world of coaching and how much love there is out there. It just blew me away. I was totally, totally blown away. Toya says, I am working on my gratitude. Yes.
Awesome. You go. I love her. She's awesome.
That's awesome. We appreciate that. Talia. Yeah. Okay. Talia. Okay. So, Preston Smiles, I don't know if you got to see any of his stuff in the last little virtual conference we have, but there's a guy named Preston Smiles, and he's a coach, and he does some amazing things. He has an amazing just outlook on life. And a few weeks ago, he bought a Porsche, right? Now, this guy has worked and worked and worked and worked. I mean, he's done acting. He's done modeling. He's done a little bit of everything. He coaches, but he grinds every day. You know what I mean? And so he was talking about having a master class, and someone said, oh, I guess you're going to have a master class in materialism. And it was like, wow, okay, I don't know why you wanted to project that on me. He said, but to me, it's not materialism. He said, I've been blessed to get to the place where I can buy these things, right? He said, I was perfectly happy when I drove my old car, and then I was happy with a better car. There's nothing wrong with being happy with a Porsche, as long as that you know you can be happy with a Toyota, right?
Absolutely.
That's the way I look at it. I can be perfectly happy with a Toyota. I'd love a Porsche, but I don't need it now. That's the thing. But when you get to that point where you know that it's okay to have either, I think that's the growth part. I think that's where you're growing.
Agreed. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
and that's what it's about is being being appreciative for where we're at.
Absolutely. Joan, my wife, has a question for you, Coach. She says, I have several health issues, and she does, and she wants to know, how can I go natural versus all these pills? And I think Toya also had a question for you earlier about any natural remedies for asthma versus, the store-bought stuff.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different ways to come around that. The first thing I recommend is to believe in yourself and believe in your own immune system and connect with your own immune system. Okay. The first two letters of immune is I am. I am immune to disease, to blood pressure, whatever it may be. So the first thing to start weaning yourself off of certain prescriptions, I would say, is learn what your side effects are first of these prescriptions and see where you're at. See what is a side effect, what isn't natural, and then see what you can do naturally for the specific, thing that you're taking the prescription for. I don't know exactly what it is, but learn about blood pressure and how meditation can help with blood pressure. How, like with asthma, I know that was a specific question.
Sure.
I'm gonna give asthma the cousin of anxiety. Okay, and so asthma is basically, the breathing canals that constrict. I know that mucus is a big contributor to asthma. So first of all, watch your dairy. Anything that causes mucus, extra mucus in the body. Start kind of doing a elimination of that. If you do a lot of dairy products, take one and cut it out for a week and see how you feel, see how you get through with that. And then connect to your breath. A lot of what I've noticed over my 20 plus years is high blood pressure comes for some people from not breathing. We go through the day without breathing, without exhaling and really expanding that diaphragm and getting oxygen to our organs. Okay. We're not in our bodies. We live outside, like here. So if you really bring that in and ask yourself, what do I need to do to naturally overcome this? Okay. So I would say self-knowledge, self-empowerment. Then there's lots of other tools that you can use. Essential oils, you can use, we've heard all through the corona about zinc, vitamin D. Vitamin D is from the sun. Well, if vitamin D is going to help corona, why are they having us stay inside?
Another witness. What?
Hello.
Yes.
Common sense. Okay. I think that's the biggest factor that we're missing in our society is common sense. Think for ourselves. Okay. Did I answer that question?
Coach, you couldn't have answered that question any better if you knew my wife like your best friend. When you said that, I'm serious, seriously, when you said that high blood pressure is linked to not breathing properly, my wife does not breathe properly. And when we go do things like if we've done rock climbing, right, or we went and done different exercise regimes, and the instructor will literally stop and say, Joan, You have got to breathe. You've got to breathe. She focuses so hard on what she's doing that she's been holding her breath for 2, 3, 4 minutes, or taking shallow breaths, and that is so true. Oh my goodness, that was amazing.
Yes, so it's linked to heart disease.
Absolutely. And, and we'll get to Toya's question in just a minute. How do you start breath work? But the other thing that you said that was very, very true was about asthma and stress. I had a childhood asthma, and it was horrible, but I also grew up in a very stressful childhood, right? And a lot of times...
A lot of us have.
Well, I'm not sure of your age, but I was a late 60s, 70s baby. So, growing up in the 70s, things were a lot different than they are now. And, I would be in a room with 5, 6, 7, 8 adults, and all of them just smoking like chimneys, right? And
in the car with the windows up.
Yes. And they took, listen, let me tell you, they took all the drapes out of my house because the doctor said, the dust would hang on the drapes and make me have asthma. We had to have a little yippy Chihuahua dog because it was hypoallergenic because that dog would make me sick. We couldn't have carpets on the floor, rugs, because that would make me sick. Nobody ever said that 8, 10, 12 adults in my life every day smoking 4 packs of Marlboros and Winstons would make me sick, right? And those people, drinking all the time and fussing and fighting and just having craziness all the time would make me sick. That never came up. It was always the drapes and the dog. Really? Seriously.
Well, and that's accountability on behavior. And
it is.
And living in ascension, okay? And about chakras. I'm all about chakras. And for that, we're in our lower chakras, our root chakras, our belly chakras. I was telling someone about this yesterday, actually, that was kind of like an epiphany for me. And I grew up totally in church. I'm from Texas in the South. That's just what we did, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so, in the Bible where it talks about the serpent was cursed to crawl on his belly. Okay. Well, I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. We're all about, the Kundalini is known as the serpent energy. And so being cursed to crawl on your belly is staying in your lower chakras. Your root chakra is about survival and kind of reptile behavior.
Right.
And so that's what I'm hoping I'm seeing right now is we're all kind of elevating up out of this survival root chakra mode.
Yes.
And going a little higher into our heart chakra. The heart chakra is what brings it all together. The lower chakras are the masculine, upper is feminine. And when you bring this together in the heart, then we have a true balance. We have a true Christ consciousness. And it's been wonderful information over the years for me. So
that is so cool. I love that. That is amazing. And just, and we talked about this last week, and I don't know if you tuned in last week or not, or on our last podcast, but we talked about that because I didn't grow up in church. And then from when I hit 15 till I was about 20 something, I was in the Pentecostal church. So I went from no church. Yeah, I went from no church to all the church, right? So
wow.
I went from 0 to 100. So yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
So I know all those things you're talking about. So like we were talking about last week, that I never was big into the woo-woo, because that was always the devil stuff, right? The chakras and.
Well, that's the way the church organizations wanted you to believe.
Absolutely. We were always taught that was the devil. We were always taught that was the devil's work,
right.
And all those kind of things. So now that I'm hearing these things and learning these things, especially like from Coach Nikki and now from you as well, just learning these things that they're teaching me, it's amazing, and I'm just blown away. And Toya said, "Whoa, Pentecostal though, girl, you don't even know. I could tell you stories." I took my poor raised Catholic wife to a Pentecostal church for the first time in her life. She was raised Catholic and went Pentecostal church. She didn't know what had hit her. But anyway, that's a whole nother broadcast for a whole nother day. But
that's like from going. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's from going from the opera to a Metallica concert.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And again, guys, nothing against the Pentecostal church. I have so many friends in the Pentecostal way, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. The Pentecostals, Catholicism, any of that. I'm just saying what I went through, and now being in what we call the woo-woo or those kind of things, it's just so amazing the things that I'm learning. Now, I know there's a couple things different about you and I, Coach, is that I am totally virtual, right? Like I don't have a brick and mortar location, but I understand that you do. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I am very thankful that I am now having 2 locations. One,
oh, wow.
Yeah, this just has birthed. I am moving my office back to Austin, Texas, and I will be opening December 11th. And it's in a salon, kind of a gallery of salons called Salon Republic. And so I will be in there doing my natural results work. I do body work. I've been doing body work for 22 years. I'm a licensed esthetician. I do natural skincare. I am a Kundalini yoga teacher, meditation, and breath work. Lots of breath work. And I work with yoga with my body work and nutrition and minerals and emotions. A lot of emotions are attached. I have this great chart. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Yep.
But if you can see, a lot of the muscles, just like meridians, are attached with our organs. So say, for instance, plantar fasciitis,
right,
or calf pain is connected to your kidney meridian. So if you're not feeding your kidneys, that's your roots. Your kidney meridian is the only meridian on the bottom of your feet. So that's like a root system going into life. And if any of you know anything about plants, which I love.
I know my wife kills a lot of them. I know that. I know my wife doesn't have a green thumb.
Okay. That's because the root system isn't being hydrated and nourished. So
there you go.
Our body gives us messages. And that's what I do, is I help us to tune into that. What is your body trying to tell you? Everything we need to know is within us. It's inside of us.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
with any religion, they're going to tell you that it's in us, I mean,
that is very true.
So why do we look outside of ourselves for a bigger entity to tell us what's happening? Why are we trusting anything outside of our own self to tell us what's going on with ourselves?
And that goes to me. That goes back to that whole. Yeah, that goes back to that whole gut instinct to how we should be following our second brain more than our first. I love that.
Totally.
Let me ask you, Toya, my producer, and Joan both had this question. What would you consider to be the beginnings of breath work? Where do they start? They have no clue.
Okay. I would say the first start of breath work is to learn to breathe to the bottom of your lobe of your lung. Okay. So whenever I tell people, take a deep breath, they do this. Okay. That's not a deep breath. You just raised your shoulders. So what we want to do is expand our belly and expand that breath. Take it all the way down to your lungs. So anybody who's watching, let's just take a moment. Close your eyes. Everything works better with your eyes closed. You can feel better. You can feel better with your eyes closed whenever you're working inside, within yourself. So I want you to take a breath in for 5 counts. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold that just for a second. And controlled exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And repeat that 2 more times. Really expanding your belly, taking that breath down to the bottom lobe of your lungs. The bottom lobe of the lungs is where bacteria hangs out. That's where pneumonia starts. Okay, that's where respiratory issues start. And now just open your eyes. And how do you feel?
Like I actually took a breath for a change.
Like you actually took a breath for a change.
Yes, absolutely.
And your body, you probably feel a little more calm within.
Yep.
You know, that is my go-to. That is my
Toya,
go-to.
Toya, were you able to do that? How did that make you feel? Type it up for us. How did that go for you? Joan, did you try that? What did you think? Anybody else out there, did you try that? What did you think? Even if you tried on the replay, you can always put it in the comments later. What did you think of that? That 5-5 breath. What did you think? Ah, blessed.
Blessed.
There you go.
There's a lot of other awesome ones. If you need one for fatigue or calming down, like anxiety, you can do a four count breath. So it's like a sip of breath, 4 through the nose and 4 exhale through the nose. So it's like, and remember, in Genesis, it says that we were created by the breath of God. The breath of God is the ether. There's five elements: air, water, fire, metal, ether. Ether is the breath of God. That ether goes through all of us. We all breathe the same ether. Imagine if we were all on the same breath, how incredibly powerful we would all be.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you heard me earlier, but for Joan's 50th birthday in February, we are jumping out of an airplane. She wants to parachute. So I'm probably going to be hitting you up for some breath work.
Yeah, we're
going to be hitting you up for some breath work. Because, I've still never understood the reason why anybody wants to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. But she says it's what we're doing. And, we're going to do that. So I'm going to hit you up for some breath work. So,
when I was little, I was convinced I could fly. And I was in trouble every day for jumping off my roof, trying to fly.
Well,
I have no desire to do that now.
But see, I tried that too, but I was smart enough. I put a cape on like Superman, right? Because I thought that would make it all better. And, just so you know, it doesn't. It hurts just as bad without the cape. It does not. Yeah. It does not.
Absolutely.
So you've got a brick and mortar place, and that is amazing. And so you do that work. Let me ask you, do you have anything that you can offer to our guests tonight? Do you have any kind of a special or any kind of a call to action that maybe my folks that are listening tonight, who are probably now your folks, because you're just full of so much love. I'm enjoying this conversation so much. What is it that maybe you want to throw out that they could be able to join up with you on?
Well, December 28th is a Monday. I am doing a Spark the Fire, Winter Spark the Fire series from 7 to 9. And we're going to do a lot of this. We're going to do a lot of inner work. The winter months. One thing we don't do is follow the seasons, and we don't work with nature, the planets, the moon.
Right.
Okay, there's different phases, and we all go through these phases. So in the winter, this is our whenever we work within ourselves, we work on going within, looking for our shadows that we need to work on. But what does society do during this time? When it's supposed to be quiet, we're supposed to be recharging ourselves. Okay,
we eat, drink, and be merry.
We eat, drink, and light it up. Right?
Yes.
And so between Christmas and New Year's on the 28th, because I really, prayed about it and thought about it. And we're going to have just a beautiful series from 7 to 9 People can email in their questions they may have ahead of time that we want to work on. We're going to learn coping skills. We're going to learn breath work. We're going to talk about oils. We're going to learn different Kundalini exercises that are so simple for our spine. Okay. I like to change the word Kundalini to spinal fluid. Okay. Or spinal energy, because that's what it's about. Okay. And so, cool. Spinal health is once you get spinal health, you've got it. You're there. Everything else is connected. That's the breaker box.
Nice. Very cool. I have learned a lot tonight. So it's $35 for the program, and that's December 28th from 7 to 9.
Correct.
I don't know about you guys, but I think that'll be some of the best $35 we can spend in December, because I know you're going to be spending it on food. I know you're going to be spending it on booze. And I know you're going to be spending it on presents for people that you don't even like. So how about spend that $35 on yourself? How about put some investment into you? And let's try to learn and grow. And I don't think there's anybody better you could do it with in this arena than with Coach Teresa. I think this is amazing. I've had a great time. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing before we wrap up tonight?
With that offer of the $35, if a family wanted to do that together and all be in on the call, I would love that. The message for me is right now is to believe in yourself and your own immune system. Okay.
Absolutely.
We could probably talk all night on that subject alone. But go within, because everything you need is in us.
Outstanding. I appreciate you being with us. I hope this is not the last time you will be a guest on Playing Bigger with Play Big Coach. And now let me ask you, are you going to be getting your own podcast as well?
I am. I'm actually working with Toya and all the exquisite, beautiful women that are in this group. I'm so thankful that this has happened. I believe our vibe attracts our tribe, and that's exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
And I love it. So yes, great. I will have something soon. I don't know when yet.
Well, once you get everything set up, let me know. I'll bring you back on, even if it's just for a quick 10 or 15 minutes, just to hype you up and blow out what you're going to be doing. Like I said in the beginning, it's not just words. I believe that none of us are as good as all of us. I want to hype you up. I want to blow you out so that everybody knows where you're at, where you're going to be, when your night's going to be, just so long as your night is not Wednesday night from 7 to 8. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there a little bit. But
this is new on my calendar. I will be here.
any other time between Wednesday 7 to 8, because like I said, I don't do what you do. And you don't do what I do. So I want people who need even my own wife. You saw my own wife on here. She needs what you do, And that's, to me, that is so great. That is so gorgeous. I love that so much. And I want her and anybody else who is able to be able to reach out to a coach like you who can help them, to a practitioner
Absolutely.
like you.
And I do the one-on-ones with people. So
sure.
With everything. So
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you to Go Black Inc. for making this all possible for me, for making my dream come true, to be able to have a podcast where I can bring amazing people like Coach Teresa on and hopefully help somebody's life, help somebody to play bigger, whether it's in that arena or whether it's in my arena. Have a great night, everybody. We wish you the best. We'll be seeing you in 2 weeks with Brian and Cheryl Collins of BNC Tax Services. A little bit of a different venue, but it's all going to be good. Thank you all so much, and we hope to see you soon.
Love you.
Thank you for joining us on the Play Bigger podcast. Coach Curtis is dedicated to helping you grow, thrive, and excel. Playing bigger is more than a tagline, it's a lifestyle. So be sure to tune in every other week for more from the Play Bigger Coach. And check us out online at www.playbigcoach.com. There you can schedule your free 1-hour Play Big strategy session. We look forward to seeing you soon.